Hey, this is HQ all live. Well, on camera for a minute. Anyway, for a minute. I just wanted to explain my position and where I'm at, right? Y'all see the thumbnail, right? Power fixes what power broke. So, the language we use, or the language that power uses, matters a lot here. Lately, we have been hearing some very rough things going around in these American streets for the past couple weeks, right? So the language that people in power use matters. The language they use matters. The words they use matters because it determines whether a country can repair itself or remain trapped inside the same system failures that we have. So when leaders speak about race, responsibility, and history, they're not offering neutral commentary. They are shaping how accountability is understood, who is asking to carry it, and who is permitted to avoid it. So power has to fix what is broken because power is what built the systems that now govern daily lives that we live. Laws, budgets, enforcement priorities, ICE, court interpretations, public narrative, it did not come, it did not shape itself. They were designed, funded, protected, and defended by people who held authority. When those systems produce harm, like we are seeing in our country today, the obligation to repair them belongs to the same place that authority lives. The people in power. This is up to the people in power to change this, to change what we see, what is happening in our country, right? That repair cannot happen if the system continues to function as it always has. We see that it is broken. Enough. It cannot happen if white supremacy remains embedded as a permission structure inside American institutions. White supremacy is not only an ideology, it is a set of assumptions about who is credible, who is protected, who is giving patience, and whose harm is minimized. A country cannot move forward while other assumptions are preserved. And yet, instead of confronting the reality, the current leadership's rhetoric often does the opposite. They never meet the moment. I'm so disappointed. The current rhetoric from our leaders, it appeals to racial tension rather than resolving that racial tension. It frames accountability as a personal insult, equality as a loss. And historically, we have to correct this because they're putting it down as a grievance, or they're making it seem as though it's a grievance. That approach keeps the same system running by redirecting frustration away from the structures and toward identity conflict. To understand why this happens or matters, it's necessary to listen to how power in this country speaks. So, hold on.
Left. We stand against treating anybody, and I love what Nikki said about this. We don't treat anybody different because of their race or their sex. So we have relegated DEI to the dustbin of history, which is exactly where it belongs. In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore. And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college, because we judge people based on who they are, not on ethnicity and things they can't control.
So this statement is not about policy or institutional outcomes. It's about your comfort. It's about people's comfort. It takes a conversation that should be focused on systems and reframes it as a question of personal offense. Once accountability is treated as humiliation, reform becomes necessarily impossible, almost impossible. Because any attempt to examine power is dismissed as an attack on your identity. This is how systems protect themselves. This is how this system is trying to protect itself by turning structural critique into an emotional conflict that we have, even though that's not true. Now consider another example of the same thing. Hold on. Change this. All of this shit was wild when I was looking at it. When I was thinking, what the hell is going on? I don't understand. But then again, once I realized what was going on, I was like, this is what our president said. White people were very badly treated, where they did extremely well, and they were not invited to go into a university or college. President Trump. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, why would my president say that? Then he started discussing reverse discrimination and claiming white Americans were treated very badly as a result of civil rights policies. You see how this framing does something essential to preserve the status quo. It recasts the correction of injustice as an injury against white people, white men specifically, not white women. This is something related to white men and white men only. A law designed to limit discrimination by the state, which was Civil Rights Act 1964. That law was designed to limit discrimination by the state. It's presented as harm against white men who historically held power. Now you see how goofy that sounds now when a white male is trying to reverse that around and say, no, you're discriminated against me. That makes no sense. That inversion teaches people to see equality as a loss. You think because now that I'm equal to you, that it's a loss to white men? The inversion teaches people to see equality and accountability as persecution. That could only come from a white male, because only a white male has that privilege in this country, who has that perceived privilege. Racism is only perpetuated, and it continues to be the way it is because of white males. Under leadership that speaks this way, the system cannot fix itself, because the premise that the system causes harm is rejected. This system causes harm to all people that are not white males. This system that we live in, before even the conversation can get started, if you who upholds the system, if the person who upholds the system says, this system is hurting me because you're hurting me, that means you have no discernment that you're the one who started this and you're the one who has to end this. You have to end this. Change does not happen because the right argument is made or because the most compelling story goes viral or anything like that. Change happens when the people who control the institutions, the white males of this country, decide to alter how those institutions are going to operate. Meaning, and I want to put it very plainly, you white men out there need to stop these other white men who are doing the harm to the country. Is that direct enough for you all to understand? Because if us black people, if it made a difference for us black people to come out in the street and protest and do all those good things people saying, because a lot of black people say we ain't coming out there, because we tried to come out there, we tried to help you all, we tried to change the trajectory of this country, but you did not want to hear what we were saying. So therefore, you have to stop it. White males who are in power have to stop these white males like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump if you want to change the trajectory and direction of this country. I said it as plainly as it can be done, as plainly as it can be said. Okay? People of color have protested, documented, testified, organized, voted, offered solutions for generation after generation after generation. That's what black people mean when they say we're not coming outside. Why we gonna come outside? Y'all gonna do what you want to do anyway. You white folks gonna do what you want to do anyway. It's up to you white males to change, to stop white males like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. It's up to y'all. Because this country is going in this direction that is going, and y'all need to speak up. We have offered, protested, rallied, voted. We have done all these things for generation. The persistence of inequality is not evidence. It's not evidence of our failure. It's evidence that we don't control the levels of power. Excuse me. We don't control the levels of power. White people control the levels of power. So, since white people started this system, white people perpetuate this system, racism perpetuates this system, white supremacy perpetuates this system. It's up to white people to stop those white people. If you see that it is wrong, it is you white people. Those levers of power are held by people who write the laws, set the budget, direct enforcement, direct ICE on the Supreme Court, interpret the court, shape public narratives, all them things and above. Responsibility follows that power. When harm is produced by these systems, the obligation to repair them belongs to those who in charge of keeping those systems going. Is put to the people who put those systems in power, who run those systems, who perpetuate those systems, who keep those systems going. As long as power refuses that responsibility, as long as you good white men refuse that responsibility, nothing is ever going to change. Because I'm assuming there's more good white men than it is the bad ones like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. I'm assuming there are good white men, more good white men than there are people like Donald Trump. Power in America is protected by layers, funnels, whatever you want to call it. Courts prioritize stability over disruption. Legislatures, people in the House, people in the Congress, people in the Senate avoid structural change, through delay. Nobody wants to change anything. Everybody thinks that people thinks this is normal. Enforcement agencies investigate themselves, all kinds of crazy shit. Media is starting to break down. Rhetoric is a central tool in this protection. By redefining systematic problems as personal grievances, if you're one of those people that believe systematic problem, that your personal grievance is just your personal grievance and you don't have no grievance, you don't have no problem, it shifts the responsibility away from the structural what can structurally be changed. People who put this system in place have to change this system. Okay? The shift from X, Y, and Z. When leaders shift responsibility, well, we don't know why this happened. X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. No. Let me show you something. Let me show you this other video. Hold on. Some of these videos, some of this stuff, when you look at it, when you become more aware of what the fuck is going on. Yeah. This is Charlie Kirk.
Be respectful, guys. He can do what he wants.
Oh, can I start now? Oh. Nice to meet you, Charlie. I'm a big fan. I think you're a very beautiful man. I admire you physically. But no homo. No homo. No homo.
Y'all see this goofy shit in the chat? This is the goofy shit we got to deal with. That's that mentality that I'm talking about. You refuse to see what everybody else is starting to see after Alex Petty's death. If you're whining in the chat because I'm the race baiter, I'm the victim, I don't need to be talking, or you just trying to white man, it's the white man problem, then you're a part of the problem. You like the system. You one of them white people. You like the system. You want the system to stay there. Oh no, them black victim people, they just talking. Y'all just want to be a victim. Y'all just don't want to raise yourself off by the bootstraps. This is why our country will never get better. Because we have people like this in the chat. We have people like this in the chat. Instead of listening to what I'm saying to him, he feels, oh shit, she attacking me. I'm white. She attacking me, saying it's the white man's fault. Never get nowhere. Never get nowhere.
I did have a question. Something I don't find very interesting about you, something I find kind of repulsive, is that I believe you said that the Civil Rights Act was bad and that we shouldn't have that.
Okay. Well,
thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like you as much as Charlie, though.
First of all, what's your name?
Sorry. I don't want to be like filmed and stuff.
Too late.
I'm anonymous, number one. Anonymous guy.
Okay. Well, hello. Nice to meet you, anonymous guy.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. I believe in part of the essence of the Civil Rights Act went way too far, way too wide.
Oh, how did it go too far?
Well, for example, it created an entire civil rights leviathan that gave us affirmative action.
Civil rights leviathan? What do you mean?
Yeah, so if you can let me finish three words in.
Sorry.
It allowed the Department of Justice to go after people that have different skin color, aka white people, and prevent them from getting jobs in college admissions.
You have a job.
I'm sorry?
You have a job.
No, you're right. I do. Right. But just until Trump came around, until the Supreme Court decision, thanks to the Civil Rights Act, if you have white skin color, it's much harder to get into a college than if someone has black skin color. Much harder. You have to have higher test scores. It's a much harder.
This is that young man who thinks the same way that Donald Trump think. Now they're the victim. The same white male that created this system. Because if I created the system, I could just take that motherfucker down and put a different system up, right? If I created this system, I can just take that motherfucker down and make another system, right? Because if I woke up in the middle, if I'm the whitest, if I'm the leader of the world, free world, and I'm white and black or whatever, and I made the system is built around me, and I'm the white male, I could wake up in the middle of the night and say, everybody gets free college. Make that happen. Everybody gets X, Y, and Z. Make that happen. We gonna build a fence around this country. Make that happen. We gonna make you people legal to stay in this country. Make that happen. And that shit would get done. That shit would get done without hesitation, without forethought. So how do you fix your mouth as the top of the food chain, the top of the food line, the top of the whole system? How do you, as a person who made the system, turn around and say, well, now this system is victimizing me. I can't go to college. I can't get no good job because of them blacks or them Hispanics. I can't do X, Y, and Z. That shit don't make no sense if you made the fucking system. You made the fucking system. I didn't make the fucking system. I didn't pull into place race as a fucking construct. I didn't do any of that. You did that as the white male. And everybody knows it's fucking true, because the minute that Trump takes his ass across the water to overseas and talk 2-point crazy to them people, all of them people is listening. All them people cowering in they fucking under the fucking table, waiting for him to call their name. All of them. So when somebody who has built the system wants to change the system, he can change the system. Question is, why don't you want to change the system for the better of all of your people? And all I'm saying is, you good white men need to check them bad white men. You good white men need to say, we are not going to put up with this shit. We have the privilege of doing that. We put the system in play. And I'm not saying you goofy motherfuckers. I'm talking about your ancestors. Therefore, you have that privilege. Good white men stop the bad white men. The good white men stop those bad white men from trying to cover up for all those PDF files. The good white men stop them from doing that bullshit over in Gaza. The good white men, you are the one who put the system together. You put the system. Your ancestors did that. So when I hear somebody like Charlie Kirk talking about, oh, we put the Civil Rights Act into place and now white people can't go to school, white people can't get no job. Motherfucker, y'all the one who was put that system together. Y'all the one put that system together. Put that system together so it's fair for you and everybody else, not take it apart so it ain't fair for everybody else. Address the real issues in this country. Stop saying motherfuckers are victims. Now you talking about you a victim. I'm a victim. Oh shit. The Civil Rights Act made me a victim. That DEI make me a victim. Shut your ass up. You the one who made that system. Make that system fair. Make that system work. If you one of the good white men, make that shit work. For everybody, not just white people or black people, whatever. Make it for everybody. Make it so that the playing field is equal for everybody. But the only way you knew how to do that was to make the Civil Rights Act, to make it fair for everybody. So you came up with that construct. There was nothing wrong with the construct. You saw an injustice, and you good white men put something in place to minimize that injustice. No, I'm not one of those people that look and listen to you when you say victim and race baiter and all that. I don't look at you. You don't bother me. Because I'm trying to make this system better. You don't bother me. That's some goofy shit when I hear people say victim, race bait, you victim mentality. I don't have no victim mentality. I have achieved more in my life than most of y'all will ever will. Okay, not bragging or anything else. Okay. So fuck all that victim shit. I'm trying to make the system better for everybody. So like I said, when I see somebody like Charlie Kirk talking out his ass who don't understand the ramifications of what he's saying, he think he's being smart, but you sound dumb, because what you sound like is somebody who is a victim, like everybody keeps saying. You are exactly the thing the goofy Jim Bob McRob is saying. Victim, race baiter. It's always about the white man. Yes, you started the system, change the system for the better. not for your better, for everybody's better.
Pool, largely thanks to the precedent set by the Civil Rights Act, not to mention all the trans stuff that we're seeing. We're seeing men be able to win trophies and medals from women across the country, and they use the Civil Rights Act to justify it.
Okay, I think I see where you're coming from. So you think that it's harder for white people because black people they could have lower tech scores again?
It's not what I think. It's
okay,
the fact.
That's what you're saying. Okay, all right. Well, I guess what I would say too. I think perhaps you're familiar with the term equity, right? Where different people have different circumstances.
It's
which
Marxism. I reject.
Okay. Well, whether you reject it or not, I think it's a prescient concept in this argument, because what you have to understand is that when for example, you're born in like a black neighborhood, you're born in like O Block or something, like a very like a. Oh, you don't know what O Block is? Oh, well, if you're
Yes, and we understand all of that. It should be the same for everyone. That's what Charlie Kirk. That's right. But back then, it was not right. Let me put this question to you. People keep saying that we're equal, right? We're all equal. Everything is equal, so let's get rid of everything. Everything is equal, blah, 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 blah. So has it ever thought or occurred to you that we have the civil rights, the DEI, we have all those things in place, and we're equal? So if we're equal with those things in place, how do we be equal when you take those things away? How do we become equal if you take those things away? No, just ponder on that. If we are equal right now with civil rights in place, DEI in place in certain place, with that stuff in place, if we're equal with that, because y'all keep saying we equal, we on the same field, we the same now. What the fuck you think is gonna be when you take those things away? Are we gonna be equal when you take those things away? The reason why those things were put into place was because of the system that was considered extreme nepotism occurred. Let's put it that way. Nepotism occurred. Okay. That's the hope. DEI is not putting racism into the place. You goofy. Please don't talk if you don't know what DEI did or who it benefited. It benefited white women. That's not racism. It benefited Hispanic people. It benefited gay people. It benefited all those people before black people. Shut your ass up if you don't know what DEI did. The biggest benefit was for white women and gay people. Be quiet. Just be talking.
Born there, if you're born in a very poor area like that, with like very low economic opportunity, very, very poor schools or very low ratings, where the average test score is much lower, when you're in that environment, you have the whole system up against you, right? So when you say in that kind of circumstance, when you're facing the whole, I guess, leviathan of systemic racism, so you say that, sorry, let me just finish it. When you say it's fair to, for example, lower the standard because knowing that their circumstances were like that, perhaps based on what they had was presented to them, they had the correct amount of merit to get into a school.
Okay, so are you a student here? I'm guessing you are.
Oh, yeah, I'm a student here.
Are you a pretty good student?
Oh, yeah, I would say I'm a good student. I have a pretty high GPA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give your GPA to her because she's a woman of color, please?
Oh, well, you want me to give you a... Well, I mean, I can.
Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, sure.
You cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine. Wait, you mean
I want you...
Like, tell her or like give it to her?
By force.
Like
so
we're swapping it.
Let me tell you what I'm going to do. By force, white man.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to take your GPA. I'm going to give it to a woman of color.
Okay.
You're cool with that?
I mean, yeah, I can just work back up. Like,
there's no working.
Because half of the people who be talking don't know what they're talking about or don't understand any of that. Okay. So this argument don't need to win a debate to succeed. It only needs to delay action. By insisting that racism exists only at the level of individual intent, institutionality, responsibility is disappeared. It's off the play. It's off the thing. Remember when, who was it? What the hell are those Asian people? I can't figure out what the name was. Asian people sued so that they could get rid of affirmative action. Once they got rid of affirmative action, that meant once it was gone, they experienced the worst of circumstances after that. It never did them any good to get rid of racism. It actually reversed the progress that they were having. Okay. It just erased it erased all of those gains that they had been getting. Because most people think that DEI is a black thing. And we are the least ones who got any kind of benefit from DEI. But see, that was the beauty of that's the beauty of doing the black thing. We concern ourselves about the collective. We don't concern ourselves about individual people. We concern ourselves about us as a whole, people as a whole. If we benefit, then Hispanics benefit. If Hispanics benefit, then we benefit. If Asians benefit, then we benefit. That's why we like the Civil Rights Act. That's why the Civil Rights Act was put into place. That's why DEI was put into place. So all of us minority people could stand at the same line. DEI put me in the room with a white male. That's what DEI did. DEI as a female, it put me in the room with the white male. Before DEI, I couldn't even go into the room. Okay. You couldn't even go into the room if DEI, before DEI, before affirmative action. Okay. And this is what people don't get. If you don't know anything about DEI, please don't have a strong opinion about it. Because if you don't know what it is about and what it benefited, please don't have no strong opinion about it. Because a lot of y'all just be right. Specifically you white males. If you don't understand why that's put into place, you don't have any say in it. Because it was put into place to equal what you could do. A lot of y'all just walk around goofy, but we're going to get into that. So, systematic racism is not a claim about individual morality. Okay. It refers to a pattern in the laws, policies, enforcement, incentives that produce unequal outcomes over time. These patterns persist because they're embedded in institutions that reward continuity and punish disruption. Here, let me show you this. And we're going to get to Alex Petty and we're going to get to Renee Good. We're going to get there and how this all ties in. Listen to this.
Jamal is a boy who lives in a poor neighborhood. He has a friend named Kevin who lives in a wealthy neighborhood. All of Jamal's neighbors are African American and all of Kevin's...
No, we're not shutting down white men's opinion. What we're saying is the white men need to listen to this. Instead of having a thought pattern about it, listen to what is being said. And then you decide your pattern of where you're going to go. Then you decide your route of where you want to go. Are you one of the good white men, or are you one of the white men who think like, oh my God, we can't let them blacks have DEI. Oh my God, we can't have those, or we can't let y'all get the same as me. Oh my God, we can't have civil rights because civil rights, that means you're going to be equal to me. Nah, I can't get nothing. I can't get nothing because everything is for you. Oh my God, are you one of those, or are you one of those? No, I'm not listening to you. Put it in super chat. Y'all love to talk to me, but then you don't want to pay for the privilege. Put it in super chat. You want me to talk to you.
His neighbors are white. Because Jamal's school district is mostly funded by property taxes, his school is not very well funded. His classrooms are overcrowded, his teachers are underpaid, and he doesn't have access to high-quality tutors or extracurricular activities. Kevin's school district is also funded by property taxes, so his school is very well funded. His classrooms are never crowded, his teachers are very well paid, and he has access to high-quality tutors and lots of extracurricular activities. Kevin and Jamal live only a few streets away from each other. So how come they're growing up in such different worlds with such different opportunities for success? The answer has to do with America's history of systemic racism. To understand it better, let's look at what life was like for Kevin and Jamal's grandparents. Decades after the Civil War, many government agencies started to draw maps dividing cities into sections that were either desirable or undesirable for investment. This practice was called redlining. and it usually blocked off entire black neighborhoods from access to private and public investment. Banks and insurance companies used these maps for decades to deny black people loans and other services based purely on race. Historically speaking, owning a home and getting a college education is the easiest way for an American family to build wealth. But when Jamal's grandparents wanted to buy a house, the banks refused because they lived in a neighborhood that was redlined. So Jamal's grandparents were not able to buy a home, and because colleges could prevent them from attending through legal segregation, their options for higher education were really scarce. Kevin's grandparents, on the other hand, got a low-interest loan to buy their first house and got accepted into a handful of top universities, which traditionally only accepted white students. This opened up a wealth of opportunities that they were able to pass on to their kids and grandkids. Even as late as the 1980s, an investigation into the Atlanta real estate market showed that banks were more willing to lend to low-income white families than to middle or upper-income African American families. As a result, today, for every $100 of wealth held by a white family, black families have $5.04. A 2017 study confirms that redlining is still affecting home values in major cities like Chicago today. This explains how Kevin and Jamal inherited vastly different circumstances. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. A big part of systemic racism is implicit bias. These are prejudices in society that people are not aware that they have. Let's go back to Kevin and Jamal. Against all odds, Jamal manages to be the only student from his high school to get accepted into a great university, the same one that Kevin and his high school friends are attending. But after Kevin and Jamal both graduate, Jamal notices that his resume isn't drawing as much interest as Kevin's, even though they graduated from the same program with the exact same GPA. Unfortunately for Jamal, studies show that resumes with white-sounding names get twice as many callbacks as identical resumes with black-sounding names. Implicit bias is one of the reasons why the black unemployment rate is twice the rate of white unemployment, even among college graduates today. You can see evidence of systemic racism in every area of life. The disparities in family wealth, incarceration rates, political representation, and education are all examples of systemic racism. Unfortunately, the biggest challenge with systemic racism is that there's no single person or entity responsible for it, which makes it very hard to solve.
Right.
So what can you do? The first thing you can do is work towards becoming more aware of your own implicit biases. What are some prejudices that you might hold that you're not aware of? Second, let's acknowledge that the consequences of slavery and Jim Crow laws are still affecting access to opportunity today. As a result, we should support systemic changes that create more equal opportunities for everyone. Increasing public school funding and making it independent from property taxes would be a great start so that poor and wealthy districts can receive equal access to resources. Systemic problems require systemic solutions. Luckily, we're all part of the system, which means that we all have a role to play in making it better. Peace.
Yes. So a lot of people don't think systematic, and it's a lot of people that are not racist, but they go along with the system. Who started the system? White males started the system. So I'm speaking to good white males who see the system, who don't want. And there's a lot of y'all who don't see the system, but people like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are not a part of the system or not a part of the direction that America wants to go. You want to go back to the racist, redlining, the whole night, you want to go back to that direction, then that's the direction that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance want to take us. Most of us don't want to go back that way. Okay? Most of us don't. Most of us just want to go and do our thing and blah, 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 blah. None of this racism shit, none of this X, Y, and Z shit. That's the whole point. It's create a system. White people created that system. White people have to figure that system out and change the system. Okay? No, we are not rich here. You're not rich here. Let's put it that way. Speak for yourself. Systems that can be unjust even when individuals believe themselves to be fair. This is what systematic racism is. That is why disparities repeat across generations, regardless of personal intent. You don't see. Okay, so why the death of Alex Pretty is an inflection point? Why is his death an inflection point? Why is his death so visceral for a lot of people? As his death so visceral for a lot of people. Intensive care unit nurse, U.S. citizen, was shot and killed by federal immigration officers in Minneapolis during an enforcement operation. Verified reporting and bystander footage show Petty holding a cell phone in the moments before they took his life. Video showing that the authorities pulled a gun out of his back and shot this man moments before his death. Okay.
Alex Petty was killed.
See, I can't see.
In the other. Nearby are two people interacting with an agent. One has an orange rucksack, one has a brown coat. We see them both again in multiple videos, including this one that shows the moments leading up to Alex Petty being shot. Let's pause the video here. This is 33 seconds before the first shot is fired. An agent pushes the person with the brown coat, then pushes Alex Petty, then pushes the person with the orange rucksack, who falls to the ground. Before continuing, let's hear the Trump administration's account of the incident.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently.
There's no evidence.
You see how I don't believe anything this administration said. That particular point right there, that particular point should make all of y'all sit up and say, what the hell is going on? But a lot of y'all just go along with the same thing that this administration has been saying, even though they lying, even though they're lying to your face. You are a person that loves to be lied to. No, you're a person that enjoys being lied to. This moment matters not because violence is something new, but because the insulation, the eyes, the shackles, the rose-colored glasses came off for a lot of you white people. A lot of the rose-colored came off for you white people. Video removed this video evidence of this man's death, removed that distance, removed that cover. For many of y'all, the system stopped feeling theoretical and started feeling dangerous. Oh shit, they killing white folks. Shit, they been killing black folks. Why do you think us black folks have conversations with our children when they go out at night and we tell them keep your hands at 10 and 2. Keep your hands in sight. Don't try to reach for nothing. Be respectful. Follow the laws. Why the hell you think we've been for years, hundreds of years, tens of years, been having conversations with our children saying, don't put your hand on no gun. Don't have no gun. Don't do that. Why do you think we've been having those conversations with our children? Because we know this can happen. What happened to Petty, you white folks didn't know this shit. Well, what the fuck is going on? Oh, man, we already. This ain't America. Yes, the fuck it is America. Yes, the fuck this is America. This is America for real, for real. This is America that we as black people have been seeing. Okay. I'm not saying that the earlier victims are diminished. We're not saying this exposes a reality that has always existed. Proximity determines urgency in a society structured by inequality. When harm becomes visible in a way that cannot be dismissed, the system's lack of accountability becomes impossible to ignore. When you get the establishment up there in front of goddamn cameras, broad daylight, lying to folks. And then now you're seeing the lies. This is why this is an inflection point. It forces a choice between continue to defend this goddamn system or is it confronting the responsibility to change it? That's what we got right here. And this is the point of this whole stream. Are you willing, or are you one of those people that are going to defend what the fuck you saw on camera and you know it to be wrong? Or are you going to confront the responsibility to change it? And this is you, dear white people. It's you, dear white people. Are you going to continue to defend the system that does that? Or are you going to confront the responsibility to change it? Chickens have come home and rule. I don't know. White supremacy does not survive because of extreme white people alone. Extremist white people, black people, cool, bootlickers, all that good stuff. All in it. It does not survive alone because of those extreme white people like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. It survives because it's tolerated, excused, and normalized in everyday spaces by everybody. This shit ain't never been normal. It ain't never been normal to me. It lives in silence, rationalization, and in the reflex to promote comfort over accountability. People of color cannot dismantle white racism, white supremacy. Black people cannot change racism or white supremacy because it does not answer to us. It answers to white people. Because white people hold most of the institutional power, cultural authority, and benefit of the doubt. It is up to them to change that. It is up to them to change what happened to Alex Preddy and say no more, enough. So when you have to interrupt white supremacy like you white folks have to do, you good white folks have to do, it means you have to challenge where it actually exists at, in those private conversations that you have with your relatives who are MAGA people. Political loyalty on the Republican Party when they're standing up saying, oh, we just gonna go along with whatever Donald Trump say. Let's just dismantle all DEI. Let's just dismantle all the museums that have slavery as a reference point inside of them. We just gonna put our name on the Kennedy Center and we just gonna dismiss John Kennedy. Silence is not neutrality. Excuses are not harmless. Protecting power from accountability is not stability. I understand people are afraid. I get it. But you got to do something. You can't sit there and just let this shit continue to happen. The death of Alex Preddy, the death of Renee Good should have woke y'all up. A lot of y'all should have woke up when this shit happened. A lot of y'all should have woke up when this shit happened. And it's amazing how we still at this particular point having a problem with some people waking up and saying, this shit is not cool at all. This shit is not cool at all. Okay? We cannot repair this. People of color cannot repair this. And you know what? What inspired this right here? What inspired this video or me to make this video? I was inspired to make this video from this right here. Hold on. Let me show you. I was inspired to make this video from this person right here. Listen. Hold on. Hold on. This lady right here inspired me to make this whole thing.
I've been trying to figure out a way to say this that doesn't sound pandering, and I can't, so I'm just going to say it. I did not understand. I really did not get it, and I thought that I did. I thought that I did my best to do as much reading and learning about what's happened in this country in the last 200 years. I thought that I had done my best to listen, and arrogantly, of course, I thought that I got it. It's always an arrogant thing to do, to believe that you're like one of the good ones or whatever, especially in a system that is still perpetuating violence. But I I did. I thought that I got it. And it's been, what, a fucking week now? I absolutely did not understand. I did not understand the constant low grade or high grade nervous system dysregulation that a lot of people in this country are born into and die into. And I had the absolute privilege to live my entire life without ever thinking about. And it is so fucking criminal that I got to live with that kind of like safety, the American dream, haha, everything is lovely, it's the 90s. When entire bloodlines have had generation after generation after generation who live like this all the time. And that's the country that we've had this entire time. And yeah, everyone's been screaming it. Everyone's been screaming it, and I did not get it. And I don't know what to do with that yet. But one way or another, I think we all know and have known for a while that this all has to be torn down. I've been trying to figure out.
And it wasn't a matter of, and it's not a matter of wanting white people to feel guilty or anything else. I'm saying to you as plain as I can say it to you, if black people or people of color could tear this system down and start all over and all of us have equity, fair, blah, 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 then we would. But we have not been able to do that because this is not a system that we built or made. And white people, bad white people, will do anything to keep the system the way they are, the way it is. Okay? You got goofy shit like this who don't understand. Some of y'all are incapable of understanding. I get all of that. Some of y'all are incapable of understanding. I get it. It is the way it is. Some of y'all are incapable. So we're not talking to you. You just one of the people that stand in the background. Stand in the background and go along with whatever the administration says. You go along with that because that's what you're good at. You're good at that. Instead of looking at the problem and saying there is something fundamentally broken when a administration can come out and kill people at random whenever they want. Breonna Taylor, Amadou, Sean Bell, Eric Gardner, Kevin Porter, Philandro Castillo, Tamir Rice. When an administration can come out and Renee Good, Alex Preddy, when an administration could come out and kill people at will, at random, and then hide the evidence or try to hide the evidence, try to lie to the American people like the American people can't fucking see. We did not put this system together. White folks put the system together. I'm saying you good white people who know y'all good, who know you're not racist, you need to stand up to people like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. You need to stand up to those people. We can only be behind you in a real way. Okay? We can only be behind you in a real way. This white supremacy system was built by white men. You white men, good white men, and I know there's good white men out there. There's good white people. There's good people all over. But I'm saying this system was built for white men. Good white men need to stop the bad white men. A country cannot repair itself while the same power structures continue to operate and do what they do unchecked. Okay? When that Kristi Noem came out there and lied to our face, she lied to our face. Motherfuckers was looking at her like, did she just say that man was brandishing a weapon and they went and took that weapon out the back of his pants and everybody saw it? She trying to tell us this ain't what happened? She trying to tell us that we didn't see what we saw? Is that what she trying to do? She trying to make it seem as though we didn't see what we saw? Once that came out, once she did that, a lot of y'all should have been knocked off y'all fucking purchase. The first thing you should have said was, oh, hell no. We know she lying. We know that. A country cannot move forward while white supremacist remains embedded. White supremacy remains embedded as a permission structure inside its institutions. We cannot move forward until that is systematic, that is faced. We have redlining to this day. We still have redlining in this country. There was a lawsuit that was filed and won about 2 years ago or a year ago, where this black family was getting knocked off into the poor neighborhoods. Okay. And this is how the system stays in place. This immigration thing. This immigration thing is how this system stays in place, because it's an grievance thing. Oh my God, these illegal aliens are getting all this free shit. They getting more than me. I'm poor. Blah, 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 blah. This is what I hear every day. This is what you hear every day. Oh, they getting all this shit. They getting more than me. They ain't working. They getting free shit. They doing fraud in Minnesota. They getting all this free shit. They got all this money, and I can't get no free shit. And I'm working my ass off, and I can't get none free. That's the way it sounds to me. This system cannot change unless good white men confront and hold bad white men like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump to account. And as long as you feel like Democrat and Republican is your lines, as long as you feel as a Republican, as long as you feel like Democrats is the demon and not J.D. Vance and not Donald Trump, we ain't never gonna get nowhere. Because good men are standing right to the side, letting Alex Pretty's death be undone. They're letting Alex Pretty's death be just another death on the road. We thought us black people thought, oh shit, they done killed a white dude. Now shit, they got to stop this bullshit that's going on in this country. They got to stop this bullshit going on in this country. What did y'all do? You made excuses for it. What did y'all do? Y'all let it slide. Y'all ain't up in arms. Y'all ain't mad enough. Y'all said, fuck that. Shit, we gonna uphold this system. We don't give a damn. It don't matter whether you kill white, black, Hispanic. See, now we know. Now everybody know. It don't matter whether you kill white, black, Hispanic. It don't matter. Y'all don't get the white people who are in charge. The good white men don't care. They want to just let the bad white men do the work. The good white men just want to stand on the side. Long as my family didn't get killed, long as nobody, I just go keep my head down, do my work. I ain't gonna worry about the rest of y'all because I got the privilege. I got the privilege of being a white dude. I got the privilege of not even thinking about it. I ain't gonna say nothing. You're the one who created, your ancestors created this system. Your ancestors created this system. And this system is still in the place because your ancestors let it be in the place. And you think it's normal, so you let it continue to be in place. Long as you continue, that's all it takes is for evil to prevail is when good men let that shit keep going. And that's a good goddamn a quote. Bad will continue to be bad as long as good white men let that shit happen. We as the minority can't stop what's going on. They're gonna continue to kill Alex Pretty. They're gonna continue to kill Renee Good, Kevin Porter, Tamir Rice, Sean Bell, Eric Gardner. They're gonna continue to kill all of them because you good white men whose ancestors started the system. You're just gonna let the bad men keep doing what they're doing. Okay. You're just going to let the bad men continue to do what they do, the bad white men. I'm saying white men who are good, who are sincere, who want to move this country forward have to be the ones to stand up and say no more and mean it. Say no more and mean it. That means we need to find a candidate who wants to run for president and who wants to change, who wants to fundamentally change this country for the good. Donald Trump wants this country to be for white men. That's not how this country is going to be going forward. It cannot go forward based on what white Christian males want. It has to go forward on how all of the people need to be treated in this country. When J.D. Vance said that bullshit out of his mouth, I said, whoa, what the hell is going on? Y'all gonna just let that shit slide? Y'all just gonna let J.D. Vance say all white men, you don't have to apologize for being white again. Ain't nobody asked y'all to apologize for being white. All we ask you to do is if you're a good white male, to make sure the playing field is equal for everybody. Not just your white ass, everybody's ass. That means reading up on DEI. That means reading up on Civil Rights Act. That means reading up on all of these things and then saying that makes sense. And I come back to the same thing. If we are all equal, we're equal, right? Everybody's equal, right? We all equal now, right? If we're all equal with DEI and with civil rights in place, what do you think we're going to be when you take civil rights and all of that away? We ain't going to be equal no more, right? We ain't going to be equal, right? That's the whole point of the Civil Rights Act, DEI. And most of y'all don't know what DEI was about, so please don't speak on it. You don't know what it was about. If you keep coming in here talking about DEI was based on color, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not the person that I'm talking. I am appealing to the good white men, and I know you out there. I know you out there, good white men. I know that you didn't like what happened to Alex Preddy. Do something about what happened to Alex Preddy. Do something about what happened to Renee Good. Do something about it. And therefore, by you doing something about that, you do something about Kevin Porter, Tamir Rice, Philando Castile. Then once you do something about that, then you do something about all of it. And that's who I am appealing to, the good white men. I know there's some good white men out there. I know there is some good white men. I've dated some good white men. I know there's some good white men out there. Okay? And I'm saying letting people go around and do and say the goofy shit that this administration has said about Alex Preddy and Renee Good is wrong. That is wrong. And I'm saying for the good white people, stand up and say something. Stand up and do something. I don't know what your relatives, your ancestors put this into place. Find out how to take it out. Take it away. Okay. Find out how to make it better. Don't just say I know it's wrong. Don't just do that. Do something. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is the goofy shit right here. This is what we got. This is what we got. This is what we got. We got Clown. We got this freak in the chat. This freak in the chat. Did y'all know that Texas just elected the first Democrat in like 30, 40 years? Do y'all notice that? Do y'all notice the trend that's coming down the pike where most people do not want to go along with this Donald Trump agenda? You are in the minority, Joe Power. You got to be a MAGA clown freak, okay? They got the 3 R's out of you. Racist, religion. I ain't going to say the last one, but they got all 3 out of your goofy ass, right? So this is what we got in the chat. So you're one of the people that apparently I'm not talking to, the retarded type, right? We talking about the good white man. We're not talking about the goofy white man. We're talking about the good white man. And there's plenty of good white men out there. Okay. Yeah, I heard that Donald Trump was suing us, the American people. What shit do that make sense? No, Texas doesn't elect fucking Democrats. No, they don't. Goofy. No, they don't. That person, they haven't elected a Democrat in that seat for 30, 40 years. Shut your dumb ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? We need good white men. So a country cannot move forward while white supremacy remains or wants to remain embedded in the power structure. Why do you think that the whole world is rejecting the note or the agenda that Donald Trump has? Why do you think that? Because most people object to what he is doing and saying. That's why. Why do you think they are rejecting it? Why do you think? I played a video a week or two ago about the white folks and what the white folks overseas, not white folks, but the foreign folks are saying overseas. Okay? They are saying they are rejecting everything that comes from Donald Trump. So all you got to do is go over there and you need to look at the videos. Look at the videos of the politicians. Look at the videos. Okay, they're saying that cities are protesting here. Why do you think they're saying all of these things? You live in a bubble. Most of y'all must live in a bubble. Okay, this country cannot move forward while white supremacy remains embedded in this structure from people like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. A country cannot heal when the leaders want to preserve the system by appealing to your racial tension, which is what this president has did, instead of confronting the responsibility that has been put in his hands. Power fixes what is supposed to be broke. No, he's not the greatest. He's the most divisive, retarded, racist, homophobic, goofy president ever. And he will go down in history as that big type of president. Okay? The question is not whether system is unjust. We know that the system can be unjust. That has been demonstrated repeatedly. The question is whether those who hold power are willing to stop defending it, stop living it. This system benefits J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. So they're going to try to preserve it. They're going to try to pull themselves into a little cluster ball where it's just white people and no people of color. When someone tries to preserve their whiteness and their whiteness only without putting everybody in it, nobody can come in it. When they try to preserve that, this is not what America is supposed to be. This is not what America is supposed to be. They're trying to preserve whiteness. Or not whiteness. They're trying to preserve white supremacy. So as long as they're trying to preserve white supremacy, the good white people, specifically the good white men, and I know there's some out there. I know there are. I know some of y'all looked at that Alex Preddy video and said, fuck that shit. I know there is. Don't be hating. Why y'all be out there hating? You don't like what I say? I can't help you. I cannot help you. You're not one of the good white men. If that's the case and it hurts your feelings, you're not one of the good white men. And if you're black and you're talking goofy, you need to check yourself at the door. Okay? There's some of them that are crashing out over the extension of white race. Yes, there are. And then there's some that hate what's going on. Okay? I'm talking about this system that allowed Alex Preddy to be killed on camera, and then the Trump regime decides that they are going to defend it. That system. Why everybody got to get into their feelings? I am talking about that system that allowed that Kristi Noem to come on camera and lie to the American people. That system. You worry about whether I'm racist or not. I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form. I am trying to move this country forward, not take this country back to where there's all white people. This system is broken. Power can only fix power. Power fixes what power broke. It don't matter whether he did or he didn't. Doesn't matter whether he did or he didn't. He didn't deserve to die. You can go looking for as much trouble as you want to. That doesn't mean that you are supposed to die. Okay? That's what y'all don't get. Doesn't matter whether he went looking for trouble or not. He's not supposed to die. Okay? And that's what y'all don't get. He went looking for trouble. He had a gun. That doesn't mean anything. He still didn't deserve to die. Y'all see this right here. He asked for it. Are y'all serious? Wow. Okay. I can't talk to immature people. It hurts my head. It really does. Okay. Like I said, white folks have to fix this system. Let's hope that we have enough good people who want to fix the system as time goes on. Apparently, we do have enough. Apparently, we have enough people that want to change this system from the way that it is, because Democrats are winning all across the country. I mentioned Texas because Texas last night flipped from Republican to Democrat. Hey, there might be a wave. There might be a wave. All I'm saying is people fundamentally reject what Donald Trump has put on the board. People fundamentally reject it. Okay. What do I want white people to change exactly? White people started this system. You got to listen to what I just said. White people started this system. White people started white supremacy. White people started subjugating black people. White people came up with the black and white color dynamic. White people started all of that. It is up to white people to change that. We as black people have been trying to change it for centuries, for years, and we have not been able to do it. We still have the same systematic issues that we have. White people have to change this system. Hopefully this inflection point with Alex Pretty is going to be a road to them changing it. I don't know, but we got goofy people in the chat who act like they don't understand what I'm saying. I hope you understand what I just said. White people started white supremacy, color dynamic, subjugating people, X, Y, and Z. It's up to them to look at it objectively and change that system, because people of color cannot change it. We have been trying to do that for centuries. It's up to white people to change it. This is what I'm saying. Power fixes what power broke. White people broke this system. White people need to fix the system. Specifically, good white people need to stand up to the goofy white people. The white people who says, oh no, ain't no problem with color. Ain't no X, Y, and Z with this. No, we love Donald Trump. We love Donald Trump. No, Donald Trump wants to uphold white supremacy. If you like the system the way it is, and we don't care, black folks get killed on camera, off camera, white folks like Alex Petty get killed on camera, off camera, it don't matter. If you like that system, then you don't want to change it. If you don't like that system, then you want to change it. And people like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance can never hold power. Stephen Miller, they can never hold power if you ever want to change the system again. Only good people can hold power because they have the good of all the people in mind, not just white men who are at the top of that food chain. Hopefully people understand what I'm saying. Okay. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm not for you. Okay. I'm not for you if you don't understand what I'm saying. Sure I do. I hate white men very much. That's goofy as hell. But it is what it is. I didn't say they didn't care. I didn't say they weren't. Nobody said anything about previous presidents. I said these presidents that came out specifically and said that they're racist, done things that are racist, put programs in place that are racist. None of them did that. Joe Biden didn't put things in place that were racist. He wasn't trying to do that. That was not his intent. That is the intent of Donald Trump. That is the intent of J.D. Vance. That's not the intent of Barack Obama. That was not the intent of Bill Clinton. That was not the intent of George Bush. But it definitely is the intent of this president. There's a difference. We understand the system they have done. When you fighting the system, when you're in place and you're the person that's in charge, and you're the white male, black male, whatever, you're in charge. It's up to you to put programs in place that help minority people, but even the playing field. It's up to you as the person that's in charge to put foreign people on the same playing field, black people on the same playing field, women on the same. It's up to you to make sure all people have access to what you as a white male have access to. I want you to have all the things that I could have. I want you to have the same opportunities as I could have. Okay? That's the thing. That's when you get into power, and that's when you try to change the lives of a lot of people. Donald Trump is not trying to change the lives of nobody. He's not trying to change. He's trying to get the rich richer. That's it. He's not trying to change the middle class people. If you were trying to change the middle class people, you would be doing some of this. Let me look. If you were really trying to change regular, ordinary, individual people, you'd be doing some of this. Hold on. Hold on. Damn, I made everything get out of here. I got everything. I got everything up off the screen. Goddamn. Didn't mean to do that. You would be trying to change some of this. If you were one of the people that wanted to change the trajectory of this world, this country, and make this country better, you would be trying to change some of this. Because the bulk of us are in the middle class. Okay? The bulk of us are in the middle class. The bulk of us are in this middle class. Bulk of us need our wages raised. The bulk of us need single payer health care. Progressive tax bill. Universal IDs so we can all vote. The bulk of us need these things. If you were really about changing this country and wanted to really help the middle class and really help the middle class rise up out of the gutter, you would be doing these things right here. But that ain't what Donald Trump is doing. And he never had. Every president before him tried to do this. Every president before him tried to do 1, 2, 3 of these things. They attempted to do something similar to this. Every president before this Donald Trump presidency. He ain't never tried to do none of that. Okay? This is what I mean by being for the middle class. This is what that means. And I said this. I said it to everybody. There's good white men and then there's bad white men. Not bad white men, but men who want to uphold that system that killed Alex Pretty and said it was okay to come out here and lie about it. That guy that says it's okay to lie about Alex Pretty. Okay. And I said this, good guys, white guys, good blacks, white blacks, all. But when you sit there, but what it takes for the evil guy to get away with it is the good guy bad guy to get away with it. It's the good guy that sits in the corner and says, "Oh no, I just want to get along. I just want to do this. I want to." No. Your white ancestors started this system. Do something about the system. That's all I'm saying. Their responsibility belongs to those in authority, and they have to do it. And I'm saying Donald Trump is not willing to do any of these things. Donald Trump is not trying to do any of these things. This right here would raise the middle class up out of the gutter. And you can't tell me we don't have no money for it, because we do. Okay? We do. Okay? Minimum wage ain't up. Minimum wage, last time I checked, minimum wage was $7. Who can live off $7? Nobody. Why ain't they raised it? Because they don't have no will to, because we as good people have not pushed them to change it. This is what I'm saying. Me as a Democrat, this is what I believe in. I believe that this will help our country move forward. Tax cuts for the rich, tariffs, all of that bullshit does not work for us, for the middle class. The middle class needs help, and they need help right now. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. You all please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, please, and thank you. I appreciate it. We trying to get on our road to 10K. We trying to get on our road. I appreciate all of that. I appreciate the subs. I appreciate. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. I know I'm going to get all the hate because that's all I get is the hate, because I always bring you the truth. Ain't going to never lie to you about it. Ain't going to never lie to what's on my mind. Okay? I appreciate my sub. You. Thank you, you. Y'all, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I will be back. Hopefully, I'll be back today. I don't know. But please like, share, and subscribe. We're on our way to 10K. Hey, I understand that this is medicine. I understand that sometimes you don't like medicine. But this is what, me as a Democrat, this is what I'm fighting for right here on the screen. This is what I'm fighting for. I believe if we get these things, we can definitely move up in this country. This country could be a better country. And you notice this ain't a black and white thing. This is all American people, middle class people. I will be back. Love y'all. Peace out.